Chapter 20 I won't go home. You can't make me. Jonas sobbed and shouted at Pound, the bed with his fists. Sit up, Jonas, the giver told him firmly. Jonas obeyed him, weeping, shuddering. He sat on the edge of the bed. He would not look at the giver. You may stay here tonight. I want to talk to you. But you must be quiet now while I notify your family unit. No one must hear you cry. Jonas looked up wildly. No one heard that little twin cry either. No one but my father. He collapsed in sobs again. The giver waited silently. Finally, Jonas was able to quiet himself and He sat, huddled, his shoulders shaking. The giver went to the wall speaker and clicked the switch on. Yes, receiver. How may I help you? Notify the new receiver's family unit that he will be staying with me tonight for additional training. I'll take care of that, sir. Thank you for your instructions, the voice said. I'll take care of that, sir. Jonas mimicked in a cruel, sarcastic voice. I'll do whatever you like, sir. I will kill people, sir. Old people, small newborn people. I'd be happy to kill them, sir. Thank you for your instructions, sir. How may I help? He couldn't seem to stop. The giver grabs his shoulders firmly. Jonas fell silent and stared at him. Listen to me, Jonas. They can't help it. They know nothing. You said that to me once before. I said it because it's true. It's the way they live. It's the life that was created for them. It's the same life that you would have if you had not been chosen as my successor. But you lied to me, Jonas wept. It's what he was told to do, and he knows nothing else. What about you? Do you lie to me too? Jonas almost spat the question at Jonas. I'm empowered to lie, but I have never lied to you. Jonas stared at him. Release is always like that. For people who break the rules 3 times. For the old, do you kill the old too? Yes, it's true. And what about Fiona? She loves the old. She's in training to care of them. Does she know yet? What will she do when she finds out? How will she feel? Jonas brushed wetness from his face with the back of one hand. Fiona is already being trained in a fine art of release, the giver told him. She's very efficient at her work. Your red-hair friends. Feelings are not part of the life she's learned. Jonas wrapped his arms around himself and locked his own body back and forth. What should I do? I can't go back. I can't. The giver stood up. First, I will order our evening meal. Then we will eat. Jonas found himself using the nasty, sarcastic voice again. Then we'll have a sharing of feelings. The giver gave a rueful, anguished, empty laugh. Jonas, you and I are the only ones who have feelings. You've been sharing them now for almost a year. I'm sorry, giver, Jonas said miserably. I don't mean to be hateful, not to you. The giver rubbed Jonas's hunched shoulder. And after we eat, he went on, we'll make a plan. Jonas looked up puzzled. A plan for what? There's nothing we can do. It's always been this way, before me, before you, before the ones who came before me. Back and back and back. His voice trailed the familiar phrase. Jonas, the giver said, after a moment, it's true that it has been this way for what seems forever, but the memories tells us that it has not always been. People felt things once. You and I have been a part of that, so we do. We know that they once felt things like pride and sorrow and love, Jonas added, remembering the family scenes that had so affected him, and pain. He thought again of the soldier. The worst part of holding the memories is not the pain, it's the loneliness of it. Memories need to be shared. I've started to share them with you, Jonas said, trying to cheer him. That's true, and having you here with me over the past year has made me realize that things must change. For years, I've felt that they should, but it seems so hopeless. Now, for the first time, I think there might be a way, the giver said slowly, and you brought it to my attention really. He glanced at the clock 2 hours ago. Jones watched him and listened. It was late at night now. They had talked and talked. Jonas sat wrapped in a robe belonging to the giver. The long robe the long robe that only elders wore. It was possible. What they had planned, barely possible. If it failed, he would very likely be killed. But what did that matter? If he stayed, his life was no longer worth living. Yes, he told the giver, I'll do it. I think I can do it. I'll try anyway. But I want you to come with me. The giver shook his head. Jonas, he said, the community has depended all these generations back and back and back on a distant receiver to hold their memories for them. I've turned over many of them to you in the past year, and I can't take them back. There's no way for me to get them back if I have given them. So if you escape once you are gone, and Jonas, you know that you can. And Jonas, you know that you can never return. Jonas nodded solemnly. It was the terrifying part. Yes, he said, I know, but if you come with me, the Jonas shook his head and made a gesture to silence him. He continued, if you get away, if you get beyond, if you get to elsewhere, it will mean that the community has to bear this bur- burden themselves of the memories you had been holding for them. I think that I think that they can and that they will acquire some wisdom. But it will be desperately hard for them. When we lost Mary 10 years ago and her memories returned to the people, they panicked. And those were such few memories compared to yours. When your memories return, they will need help. Remember how I helped you in the beginning when the receiving of memories were new to you. Jones nodded. It was scary at first, and it hurt a lot. You need me then, and now they will. It's no use. They will find someone to take my place. They'll choose a new receiver. There's no one ready for training, not right away. Oh, they'll speed up the selection, of course, but I can't think of another child who has the right qualities. There's a little female with pale eyes, but she's only 6. That's correct. I know the one you mean. Her name is Catherine, but she's too young, so they will be forced to bear those memories. I want you to come, Gibber, Jones pleaded. No, I have to stay here, the giver said firmly. I want to, Jonas. If I go with you and together we take away all their protection from the memories, Jonas, the community will be left with no one to help them. They will be thrown in a chaos. They'll destroy themselves. I can't go. Give us, John suggests. You and I don't need to care about the rest of them. The giver looked at him with a questioning smile. Jonas hung his head. Of course they needed to care. It was the meaning of everything. And in any case, Jonas, the giver sighed, I wouldn't make it. I'm very weakened, weakened now. Do you know that I no longer see colors? Jonas' head broke. He reached for the giver's hand. You have the colors, the giver told him, and you have the courage. I will help you to have the strength. A year ago, Jonas reminded him, when I had just become 12, when I began to see the first color, you told me that beginning that been different for you, but that I wouldn't understand. The giver brightened. That's true. And do you know, Jonas, that with all your knowledge now, with all your memories, with all you've learned, still you won't understand because I've been a little selfish. I haven't given any of it to you. I want to keep it for myself to the last. Keep what? When I was just a boy younger than you, it began to come to me. But it wasn't the seeing beyond for me. It was different. For me, it was hearing beyond. The Jonas frowned, trying to figure that out. What did you hear? He asked. Music, the giver said, smiling. I began to hear something truly remarkable, and and it, and it is called music. I'll give it you some before I go. Jonas shook his head emphatically. No, Giver, he said. I want you to keep that, to have with you. When I'm gone, Jonas went home the next morning, cheerfully greeted his parents, and lied easily about what a busy, pleasant night he had had. His father smiled and lied easily too. But his busy, pleasant day the day before, throughout the school day, as he did his lessons, Jonas went over the plan in his head. It seemed startlingly simple. Jonas and the giver had gone over it and over it, late into the night hours, for the next 2 weeks, as the time for the December ceremony approached. The giver would transfer every memory of courage and strength that he could to Jonas. He would need those to help him find the elsewhere that they were both sure exist. They knew it would be a very difficult journey. Then, in the middle of the night before the ceremony, Jonas would secretly leave the dwelling. This was probably the most dangerous part, because it was violation of a major rule for any citizens, not an official business, to leave a dwelling at night. I'll leave at the midnight. I'll leave at midnight, Thomas said. The food collectors will be finished picking up the evening meal remains by then, and the past maintenance crews don't start their work that early, so there won't be any more. anyone to see me, unless, of course, someone is out of emergency service business. I don't know what you should do if you're seen, Jonas, the giver had said. I have memories, of course, of all kinds of escape, people's fleeing from terrible things throughout history. But every situation is individual. There is no memories of one like this. I have to be careful, John said. No one will see me.